The smoke could be seen for miles, a thick acrid plume rising against a vast, empty sky. This isn't a wildfire in some distant forest. This is the heartland. This is a farm, a family's legacy, their future turning to ash. Across the American plains, this scene repeats with haunting regularity. Grain silos, once symbols of abundance, now stand as blackened husks. Barns filled with generations of history collapse into fiery heaps. The air, which should smell of rich soil, is choked with the scent of disaster. It's a tragedy unfolding in slow motion, field by burning field. The roar of flames, the crackle of timbers, the desperate shouts of farmers and firefighters, these are the sounds of loss. These fires are more than property damage. They represent the destruction of livelihoods and the physical manifestation of a deeper crisis gripping American agriculture. Each spark is a blow to a farmer's spirit. Each column of smoke signals another family pushed to the brink. From Texas to the Dakotas, reports of fires and explosions at agricultural facilities have surged. These are the very places that store and process the food that feeds the nation. When a grain elevator explodes, it's not just grain that is lost, it's a critical link in the food chain. The scale of this destruction is difficult to comprehend, but its impact is impossible to ignore. The American farmer, once a symbol of resilience, is under siege from every direction. The fires are the most visible symptom of a deeper sickness. The amber waves of grain, celebrated in song, are now being consumed by flames. This is the front line of a crisis that affects every single one of us. The heartland is burning, and with it, the foundation of our food security. What's behind this wave of devastation? The answer is complex, a perfect storm of calamity. Aging infrastructure is a major culprit. Many grain elevators and processing plants are decades old, with frayed wiring and worn machinery. In these environments, a single spark can ignite highly combustible grain dust, leading to catastrophic explosions. But the problem runs deeper. Extreme weather, supercharged by climate change, is battering the farm belt. Prolonged droughts turn farmland into tinderboxes, while violent storms damage equipment and power lines, creating new risks. Economic pressure is relentless. The costs of fuel, fertilizer, and seed have skyrocketed, but crop prices lag behind. Financial strain forces farmers to defer maintenance and upgrades, making safety protocols a luxury. When you're fighting for survival, long-term risks are overshadowed by immediate needs. This volatile mix, old infrastructure, extreme weather, and economic stress, creates a system on the brink. The fires and explosions aren't random, they're the predictable outcome of a system pushed beyond its limits. Each incident is a warning sign, a flare from the heartland. The foundations of our agricultural system are cracking under unprecedented strain. The crisis is not just about fire, it's about a system breaking down. The warning signs are everywhere, and the time to act is now. America's food system is at a tipping point. The impact on America's wheat production is direct and devastating. Wheat is more than a crop, it's the foundation of bread, pasta, and countless foods central to our diet. The United States, once the world's breadbasket, is now in jeopardy. Fires destroy silos, droughts parch fields, and the national wheat harvest shrinks. Every lost bushel reverberates through the food supply chain. Kansas and other key states report their smallest harvests in decades. Persistent drought means much of the wheat never matures. Crop failure is becoming the norm. What little survives is at risk from fire during harvest or storage. This isn't just a bad year, it's a downward spiral. Wheat acreage is shrinking as farmers switch crops or leave farming altogether. The breadbasket is shrinking before our eyes. The consequences are profound. America's food security is weakened. A nation unable to produce its own staples becomes vulnerable and dependent on imports. The U.S. is losing its leadership in wheat production and exports. The peril facing our breadbasket is a national security issue. The crisis in the fields threatens the stability of our food supply. Just north of the border, a different story unfolds. While American fields bake and burn, Canadian prairies are thriving. Canada's western provinces are seeing record-breaking wheat yields. The weather patterns punishing the U.S. have spared key Canadian regions. Strategic investments in modern infrastructure and research have paid off. Canadian grain terminals and rail systems are state-of-the-art, reducing risks of fire and explosion. New wheat varieties developed through public and private funding are more resilient. Canadian farmers benefit from policies that encourage sustainability and stability. The result, a more productive, resilient agricultural sector. As the U.S. breadbasket shrinks, Canada's is expanding, ready to fill the void. Canada is capitalizing on this moment. With U.S. wheat production faltering, Canada is filling the global gap. Wheat exports are soaring, with ports bustling to supply markets worldwide. Canada's reliability and abundant harvests attract international buyers seeking stability. Decades of investment in crop science have produced high-quality wheat prized by millers and bakers. Canada isn't just selling a commodity, it's selling a premium product. This gives them a powerful edge and strong prices. The global grain market is realigning. The world once looked to the American heartland. Now, Canada is the new wheat superpower. Its rise is the result of strategic planning and the crisis south of the border. The golden tide from Canadian ports is reshaping trade routes. The world's daily bread now depends on Canada. This shift in North American wheat production has real consequences for everyone. As U.S. supply tightens, global wheat prices climb. Even Canada's output can't fully compensate. The result: food prices rise worldwide. In the U.S., grocery bills go up. Bread, pasta, flour all cost more. For families already struggling, this adds new pressure. In developing nations, rising wheat prices can mean food shortages and unrest. The struggles of a Kansas farmer can contribute to hunger thousands of miles away. Experts warn the global food system relied on massive, reliable U.S. exports. That assumption is broken. The market is repricing risk, leading to higher costs and volatility. Canada provides a buffer, but the system is less stable than before. Price shocks are more likely, and the world's most vulnerable will suffer most. The tremors from America's fields are felt around the globe. To understand this crisis, listen to those on the front lines. John Miller, a fourth-generation Kansas farmer, lost 80% of his wheat crop to drought. "You pour your heart into this ground," he says. "It's not just losing money, it feels like you're failing the land, your family." Sarah Jenkins in Nebraska watched her co-op elevator burn. "That was our grain, our year's work. Now we haul grain 80 miles farther, more time, more cost." These disasters have lasting ripple effects, logistical, financial, and emotional. Yet amidst the loss, there is resilience. Farmers adapt, new techniques, different crops, water conservation. "You get knocked down, you get back up," John says. "We're not quitters, this land is in our blood." Hope keeps many going, even when the odds seem insurmountable. But hope alone isn't enough. Experts stress the need for greater support, investment in infrastructure, better crop insurance, and real economic safety nets. Farmers' resilience is remarkable, but not infinite. Without real change, we risk losing a generation of farmers and their knowledge. The voices from the heartland are a call for help. Their struggle is not just personal, it's a warning for us all. The future of American agriculture depends on action, not just hope. The heartland's cry cannot be ignored. Their fight is our fight. The nation's food security is at stake. We must listen and respond. The journey of our food is a long, interconnected chain. A crisis on the farm ripples outward, touching every link, from processing plants to transport trucks to your dinner table. The collapse of U.S. wheat production disrupts more than just bread prices. Trucking companies, equipment dealers, and local diners all feel the impact as rural economies falter. Job losses and business closures hollow out communities. Food manufacturers scramble to find wheat, facing higher costs and supply chain headaches. For families, it's higher grocery bills, empty shelves, and growing anxiety. The problems of drought and fire may seem distant, but their effects are woven into daily life. No one is insulated from the crisis in the heartland. The farm gate and the family table are more closely linked than we realize. The ripple effect is real and growing. We stand at a crossroads. The path of burning silos and barren fields leads to food insecurity, higher prices, and dependence on imports. This is not a temporary downturn. It's a fundamental challenge to our way of life. The choices we make now will shape our food supply for generations. We must invest in modern infrastructure, support climate-resilient farming, and develop crops for new extremes. Farmers need a stronger safety net and fair pricing. If our farmers fail, the entire system fails. The future of our food is not yet written. We can choose a path of investment, innovation, and support. The smoke rising from the heartland is a signal. The time for complacency is over. The security of our family tables depends on the actions we take today.